Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and solve a really frustrating mystery. If you're a heavy user of AI tools, specifically Claude, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. We're looking at why paying Claude Pro users are constantly hitting rate limits, seemingly out of nowhere. We're going to unpack the actual mechanics of token burn, and more importantly, we're going to set up a highly effective technical fix to keep your sessions running smoothly.
Right, so this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You upgrade to a premium tier, and you expect to have the total freedom to run these massive, long design sessions, or just knock out huge batches of admin work. But instead, right in the middle of your workflow, boom, you get that dreaded lockout screen. It is incredibly frustrating to spend money on extra usage, when you're already paying for a Pro subscription, just because you needed the AI to handle a seemingly routine, autonomous batch task.
And if you've looked for solutions online, you've probably seen the usual, totally unhelpful advice. People will tell you to, just switch to a smaller model like Sonnet, or downgrade your effort level, or even just use the tool less. Yeah, no thanks. That literally defeats the entire purpose of having a powerful AI assistant. So in this explainer, we're completely throwing that advice out the window. Instead, we're going to look at a structured, actionable solution built into how the session itself runs, essentially forcing the AI to burn fewer tokens on its own without you needing to constantly babysit it.
So here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, the rate limit problem. Second, Claude's hidden token burn. Third, enforcing scope discipline. Fourth, the context reset command. And finally, mastering AI context windows. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The rate limit problem. Paywalls and frustrations.
Most of us started out on the free tier, quickly realized how much of the good stuff was locked behind paywalls, like Claude Code and Claude Design, and we upgraded to Pro. We wanted those longer sessions. But here's the catch. Claude keeps releasing newer, highly capable models, and with better models comes much higher usage. You might be running long autonomous batch tasks, really simple admin work, stuff it should breeze through, and suddenly you're locked out. The core reason this happens is actually because message limits simply aren't what they seem to be.
Section 2. Claude's hidden token burn. The invisible culprit. Okay, so we need to stop looking at how we use the tool and start looking at what Claude is doing behind our backs. We have to fundamentally redefine what a message actually means in this ecosystem. When you hit a rate limit, it is almost never because you sent too many individual prompts. In Claude's system, a message is weighted by tokens. Furthermore, it matters exactly how much context is riding along in each and every request. This includes every single file in the session that Claude has to read while working on your task. It all gets added to this massive running total. If you have a huge list of instructions or a giant project folder, all of that data is basically riding shotgun with every single prompt you send.
And here is the invisible culprit we've been looking for. Claude's default behavior is to explore. Honestly, no matter what model or effort level you use, Claude just really wants to understand everything. If you ask it to do something super simple like rename a screenshot, it behaves like an overeager puppy. It'll go and open 5 other totally unrequested files nearby just to understand the project. It goes on these massive scavenger hunts for context, opening half your directory and invisibly adding thousands of tokens to your running total, all before it even does the actual work you asked for.
Section 3. Enforcing scope discipline. The countermeasure.
Without a specific rule in place to stop it, Claude is going to go on that massive scavenger hunt, burning through your tokens like crazy. But when we put a scope rule in place, Claude stops. It only reads the files you specifically requested, and it focuses strictly on the task at hand. By telling the AI exactly what not to do, we completely prevent it from doing more work than we actually asked for. It's a real game changer.
To put that into perspective, implementing this simple rule cut unnecessary file reads by 2/3 during routine tasks, things like automatically renaming files based on what the AI sees. A 2/3 reduction in background file reads translates to a massive saving in your context window. Based on testing this exact workflow, it's estimated to save an easy 30 to 60 minutes of usage time before hitting a rate limit. That's an extra hour of deep work.
So, you're probably wondering, what is the exact rule? Well, here is the precise text you need to use for your standing instructions. Ready? Only read files I explicitly name or point to. Do not read additional files to get context, understand the project, or see how things connect, unless I ask you to. If you think reading more files would help, ask first. One sentence. Want me to also read X? Wait for my answer. This applies to every task in this project. No exceptions for just checking or quick look.
The absolute crucial point here is how you actually implement this. You obviously don't want to copy and paste this out every single time. Instead, you use a really simple 3-step process. First, create a plain text file named CLAUDE.md in your project root folder. Second, paste that precise scope discipline rule right inside. Third, just start your session. That's the whole shebang. Every Claude Code session automatically loads this file and reads these standing instructions fresh at the start of every conversation. It automatically injects this discipline into the AI's behavior from second 1.
Section 4. The context reset command, keeping the slate clean.
Now, even with scope discipline, long conversations naturally build up baggage. Remember, rate limits are counted in tokens, and a single message carries the entire prior conversation with it. So one bloated 3-hour session will actually burn through significantly more tokens than 3 separate 1-hour sessions doing the exact same tasks. The solution to this? The /clear command. This simply wipes the current conversation and returns your running context window back to 0. It is absolutely the fastest way to free up context.
But let's be real, the /clear command is incredibly easy to forget when you're deeply in the zone. So here is a truly fantastic trick. You add this line to your CLUD.md file. Task complete, run /clear before your next task to reset context. Keep this reminder line at the end of every response. By adding this, the AI actually reminds you to wipe the context at the end of every single prompt response. It's a brilliantly simple way to ensure you are continually keeping the slate clean.
Section 5. Mastering AI Context Windows. Advanced Compacting Strategies.
Modern AI models boast these massive context windows now, up to 1 million tokens. But letting your session fill up a 1 million token window is, frankly, a terrible idea. It creates massive context baggage because the AI has to basically reread that entire massive session history every single time you send a new message. Instead, you really want to adjust your auto-compact limits. By forcing the AI to compress its memory at much lower thresholds, we're talking keeping active windows down around 167,000 to 172,000 tokens, and combining that with frequent use of both the /clear and /compact commands, you ensure the AI stays sharp, fast, and incredibly light on token usage.
So, we've basically solved the mystery of the missing tokens. It completely comes down to stopping the invisible, overeager scavenger hunts, establishing strict scope discipline with a simple markdown file, and aggressively clearing your context window. The big question now is, will you leash your AI's token burn today, or are you going to let it keep reading files you never even asked for, burning right through your paid limits? Take a few minutes, implement these standing instructions on your next project, and watch your productivity and your token limits stretch further than ever before.